You open the Chamber of Secrets. The room feels cold and dark. Hissing. There is a constant noise in your ears. And then in your mind comes an admonition from your grandfather. High-dimensional messages can be connected simply by shifting the viewing angle. But do not make any random response to unknown information. Your brain is racing against time to add functions beyond those of humans. It kept overclocking and found that its computing power had run out. It decides to give up muscle control, and you fall down hard. It decided to give up on internal organ management. Your breathing stops. Your heart stops beating. It decided to abandon all neural activity except itself. Your vision falls into darkness, and your senses of sight, smell, hearing, and touch disappear. Your brain is going into overdrive so that you can see the higher dimensions at the end of your life. If the ship of Theseus paradox is about whether you're still you after replacing all the materials, now it is about returning all the materials in your body in order to discover your origin. Drifting in a lightless sea, thrown into an unfathomable abyss, you come to the end of the abyss. Black and white are independent of each other, maintaining an absolute balance. That's how it's supposed to be. And now the nothingness has been nibbled away, and it's all mixed up. The matter of your body, as small as cells, gradually dissipates into particles and returns to its original individual. After all that is you has been separated, a silver key appeared. You were physically pulled into the higher dimensions of space by responding to a message from a terrible being. Your spirit, yourself and all your memories are gone. You recall the ancient prophecies of your family before consciousness fades. Drop into the alien dream. Be cast into unmeasured depths. Adrift in a lightless sea. An arch of rock can be seen at the end of the abyss. This is the gate. Insert the silver key to pass through the gate. Then you could see the Beyond One. But you did neither see the gate, nor the Beyond One.
Put your headphones and grab a controller. Pin 17. Glitches. It's bonkers! Ready? 3, 2, 1, play! Finish! Play! Tournament!
Ready? Play! The ring.
Training. Ready?
Round one.
Listen. Dance. Play. Oh.
Agree. Round two.
Listen. Dance. Play.
Agree. Round three.
Listen. Dance. Play. Oh.
Agree. Round four.
Listen. Dance. Play. Oh.
Agree. Final round.
Listen. Dance. Play. Oh.
Agree.
Finish. Qualified. Bonus round. 3, 2, 1, crash. Finish. Results. Round 3. The space race. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Dong, boom, boom. Dong, dong. Boom, 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 boom.
It's time for the space race.
Love you, love the body. 3, 2, 1, listen. Play. 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 Finish. Congratulations! Does it hurt? Get up and fight. Play. Battle of the Dancers. Ready? Play! Choose a song.
1,000 ways.
Ready? Play! Final blow! You win!
Thousand of wings, beating in time at the center.
Final go! I'm gonna win. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Quit.
You open the hissing. There is a constant noise in your ears. And then in your mind comes the box was empty as if its contents had already been long gone. You recall the warning your grandfather gave you at the stargazing pavilion.
Were you aware, Anand, that there is infinite knowledge in the sky? For that reason, we who seek the truth must always look up at the sky. But behind the stars is endless darkness. And when we look up, those horrible entities are also watching us. The remnants of any of their powers would be devastating to us. HTHE Chamber of Secrets contains the most terrifying substance in the universe, the strange. It is highly contagious and can transform all matter it touches into a part of itself. You would be wise to avoid going to the chamber.
You open the notebook and realize that it's filled with sentences that are devoid of logic. But not completely at the same time. Who will represent us? Shadow. I can't play a family member. I'm not very familiar with that behavior. Dog. I think you should see how we do it. I know you'll understand quickly enough. Father. I understand. I'll show you what we mean. The dog put on the father's clothes. The father blackened himself into the shadow. And the shadow dressed as the dog. He spoke to the shadow. Our family is very interesting. You should be able to fit in just fine. Shadow. I can't play family members all that well. They're much cuter than I. Dog. I think you need to see how we act. Father. I understand. I'll show you what we mean. The dog put on the father's clothes. The father blackened himself into the shadow. And the shadow dressed as the dog. This note keeps cycling until the journal finishes and you feel inexplicably nauseous. The text is derived from the SCP-3999's I am at the center of everything that happens to me. SCP-3999 is a stream of consciousness work in which a terrifying being resides within the body of the protagonist, who chooses to end his life in order not to let his body become abnormal and out of control. The context is written by Lord Stonefish, who suffers from severe depression. SCP-3999 is also a microcosm of his inner world. The box was empty as if it's You open the notebook and a group of black humanoids suddenly appears. Their faces are shaped of insect chelates, with blue fluid flowing where the eyes should be. Sticky tentacles emerge from behind them as sharp claws push out from their arms. You open the door to the study and immediately realize you're not alone. You see your grandpa seated in his armchair. He smiles at you with an relieved expression with a lingering sense of proudness at who you've become. His body begins to fade to light and you don't even have the time to mentally acknowledge sadness.
Grandfather.
You investigate carefully and finally find a stone covered in dust on the old bookshelf. It gave off a faint glow after brushing off the dust. You investigate carefully and finally find a stone covered in dust on the old bookshelf. It gave off a faint glow after brushing off the dust. You open the box. In front of your eyes is a girl as delicate as a ceramic doll. Your heart is beating hard. But it's not all because of its attractive appearance. You feel an extraordinary sense of familiarity, of nostalgia, of intimacy, of longing for wholeness. Then the girl seemed to be awakened by the noise, and slowly sat up. You were about to ask some questions, but she cut you off first. You want to be vocal, but you can't control your body. She looked at you with a silver-crossed glow in her eyes. You feel an invisible bond with her. Then you heard her soft, ethereal voice in my mind.
Star T. I know how confused you must be. Come closer to me, and I'll tell you the truth about this time.
The stars are shining in her eyes, and you can't help but move closer to her. Before you know it, she puts her hand slowly on your forehead. You feel your brain flooded with information. Time. 10 years ago. When the disaster happened. The study.
The infection with the strange is different from simple physical assimilation. I've already tested all of the available spells and medicines. I can't even find a cure for Ronald. If I were to compare this situation to another, it's like allowing an egg without a shell to maintain its integrity, all while surviving the rapids of a waterfall, or allowing a person floating in the sea to rely on himself to withstand huge waves and storms. Ancestor, you once left a prophecy to warn us of this day. The mission of the Watchers and the price of truth are the same. Unparalleled sacrifice. I pray here for your revelation. The Lord of Fate, the Guardian of the Abyss, Lord of Dimensions, Riddle Knower, Guardian of the Secrets, the oldest, all in one, the one by life prolonged, Amaret to all. Yeg Saltathan AFLFTHAGN. Your servant call upon you. Are you still unable to answer my prayers? We must go with the last resort, no matter what. We can't let the infection spread. The transport point to Seleno is ready, now that the stars are in their right place. Our success rate is up to 70%. I can't believe we look up at the stars for decades, only able to vanish among the stars at the last. What an ironic twist of fate.
Right as the array is about to be activated, the space changes. It's as if the magic has been drawn away. The room twists and turns into an arch of rock, dividing the two sides into two worlds that do not interfere with each other at all, virtual and real. From inside the door played a soft, ethereal female voice.
There is still a glimmer of hope. Are you willing to pay the price for it though?
As long as I can pay for it. Please take what you must.
A pure silver and white light covered George Howard, its energy sparkling like a multitude of stars. He felt that he had never been so clear and insightful. As information continuously flows into his consciousness, George Howard's expression turns serious.
So this is the history's truth. Now that I'm aware, I will do as you wish.
Grandpa.
A child pushes open the door to enter. In that instant, his body and action are frozen. The static time begins to flow again. This is the separation being staged once again. You stubbornly refuse to leave. Until finally, under Grandpa's magic, you forget everything and leave like an empty container.
Then I suppose it's time to pay my price.
Just as George Howard was preparing for the end, a voice came from the void.
Do you have a last wish?
If I may, I would like to see him once grown up.
The voice hesitated for a moment, as if in thought or calculation.
I can only give you 1 second. Is that enough?
That's certainly enough.
The time and the space freezes. Your mind is flooded with memories of the past. Maybe it's just a split second, or maybe it's years beyond thousands.
A Fogamon's consciousness was forced into a deep sleep. In order not to be affected by what remains of a Fogamon's influence, Yog-Sothoth buried the alienated parts under the ultimate gate. Calm has returned to the sunless sea, but the disordered assimilation continues. Chaos and entropy in the universe continue to grow slowly.
There are glass stops the current moment of time from movement, preventing the black sand from spreading. Once you get rid of this black sand, the assimilation should end.
The hourglass is broken and the black sand in it is scattered. A giant eye emerges in response.
Oh, so you chose to construct a puppet to preserve your power. How ridiculous. I didn't expect you to have grown so weak.
Without any thought, a name forces itself to the forefront of your mind, a Forgomon. Could it be that, after the rupture of the temporal loop, you were directly perceived by them? As you're still considering your options, you hear her continue to speak.
Oh, I'm very disappointed in you. You are the beginning, and I am the end. Together we create time and space. Unfortunately, your authority over all knowledge has changed you. Your will has chosen to break away from us, so I had to clean up all of time and space for a quick reset. Now this is a surprise. I had planned to devour you to complete ourselves, but now I'm understanding that the human mind can be rather useful, as long as there are enough of them. Then they could be an alternative, so, even without you, I'll be able to awaken our main body. You are no longer necessary. You ridiculous puppet. Paul's biggest mistake was making you into immortal. Humans. What a fragile race. After destroying you, I'll have a good time reminiscing with Paul.
Star Key. As long as your heart is not broken, time will restore your body. Every defeat will act to temper your will. What you face now is only one of their billions of avatars. However, a Forgoman will never leave their true body, and their power cannot easily come here.
You see a torn portrait and a huge splinter through the wall behind it. There seems to be a secret passageway.
They are glass stops the current moment of time.
As the avatar of a Forgomon was repelled, the whole space trembled violently in rage, and oppressive sounds rained down from all sides. You can't hear the words being spoken, but you can feel the sheer anger contained within each.
A forewoman cannot go back in time to this 100 years of history, and so they are preparing to return to the start of space-time. Star T. This is the most critical moment. Keep pushing.
All of a sudden, you feel like you're on the ocean. A great black fog rose over the darkened sea. The blackness pulls you down into it. Being in the depths of the ocean is like being among the stars. In the blink of an eye, you fell into the ocean, then fell into the galaxy. If the ship of Theseus paradox is about whether you're still you after replacing all the matter of your body, after returning all the materials, this carries the silver key flashes and this is the dividing point between existence and non-existence. Black and white are independent. That's how it's supposed. You see the warp, the debris. You feel a strong will locking you in. Darkness assimilating you. Your obsession, unwillingness, and your pain burst out in this moment. Like a sudden burst of lightning, your will lights up the night sky. Having pushed back the entity, your mental strength is at its limit. You lose traction, fall downward, plummeting into the sea of no light. Your consciousness gradually becomes blurred as you are slowly sinking into the deepest part of your mind. Lightless abyss. As you sink, your consciousness becomes increasingly transparent. There is no end to the darkness ahead. Then you sense a familiar presence. It belongs to Tall. It's not exactly the same though. Like a door. Like the end of everything. Your consciousness is becoming transparent. You finally saw them. They lift you up and make you whole once more. Their eyes are always on you and you hear their words.
Star T. Do you blame me for creating you?
No. Although coming into this world has made me feel all kinds of pain. Human beings are too fragile to be affected by all kinds of desires. Whether it's a family mission, a duty to others, or a concern in your heart, one forms a chain of invisible chains. However, sometimes the pain of these chains makes me feel warm and happy. It finally dawned on me that this is something called desire. I obtained a lot of memories. These are precious memories that I should treasure.
Do you like the world?
I like the people of this world. They suffer together and share happiness. Even the smile of a stranger can make me feel warm. Because these people made me feel connected to the world. It made me finally realize that I exist in the world.
Do you have any regrets?
I certainly have many regrets. A lot of regrets even. Something I realized only after it was too late. I regret not being honest. The fact that I suppose I didn't
Do you want to change the world? Even if that sacrifice makes you cease to exist.
It's not that I want to change the world like some grand fairy tale. Rather, I want to separate this twisted timeline to prevent further tragedy both to those I shared a bond with. To thank my family for putting everything they had to seek happiness for me. For myself who has grown, especially over these past 10 years, and finally has found a purpose that I truly believe in. Lastly, for you, who has given me this chance. For this I am willing to bear the heaviest fate.
I see. Star T. My awakening requires the great sacrifice. But I, who has infinite and omnipotent power, am unable to sacrifice myself. So I must ask that you face this death instead of me. This death means separation from the self. All your past will be cut away and dismantled, and the timeline you once lived will be purged of any trace you once had. I will reboot the original timeline, effectively restoring the distorted one. Speak my name, Star T. I will awaken and prevent the world's downfall.
You managed to wake tall. As the first consciousness to awaken in Yog Sothoth, they succeed in taking control of the body. Yog Sothoth is awakening. Afagomorn's consciousness was forced into a deep sleep, in order not to be affected by what remains of Afagomorn's influence. Yog Sothoth buried the alienated parts under the ultimate gate. Calm has returned to the sunless sea. But the disordered assimilation continues. Chaos and entropy in the universe continue to grow slowly. At the beginning of time, whiteness wrapped itself over the sunless sea beneath. As it begins to part, you see the black twisted timeline slowly unravel into the correct flow of history. 15th January 1910 Arkham. An old castle clinging to the hills. In the castle, a group of people are holding a birthday dinner to celebrate a family member who has just turned 8. The crowd stood together, ready for the family photo shoot. A grown man smiled brightly, while a beautiful and elegant woman held his arm. Sitting in the middle was a dignified old man, who looked to have gone against his solemn nature today, because he is holding the hero of today's party, a smiling little girl with long light blue hair. The old man's white beard was pulled by the little girl in his arms. The woman scrambled to put an end to the girl's mischief. The little girl looked at the previously smiling man with an innocent expression, and the man made an exasperated face at the girl. It just so happened to be caught on camera. Amy was busy sorting books in the library as usual. She's still so timid and shy. While sorting through the books, a poster slipped off the table. She picked it up, and it was the Tosca poster from the Opera Society today. For art, for love. The stars are resplendent tonight. Amy looked up at the poster and she seemed to momentarily gasp, looking confused yet pained. I wanted to say something, but in my end, my voice was no more able to speak than the air itself. She crumbled to her knees as she experienced a sense of loss that she didn't fully understand.
Why am I crying?
In the evening, Professor Carl and Professor Julie were working at their desks in the school office. Ms. Julie sighed deeply after sorting through a pile of papers and complained to Carl.
Students are getting worse these days. They can't bear any hardships that come their way. If young people continue to only seek enjoyment, human beings will degenerate into monkeys within 100 years.
Carl did not respond to Julie's complaints, instead saying optimistically,
This generation of young people is better than us, as they can at least pursue their own ideals. People who can't listen to themselves are simply living in a dream. Being aware of one's self-consciousness and developing their own unique personality is a rather enviable prospect.
Your nagging hasn't changed at all, old man. Aren't you eager to find students who can continue your studies? Do you want to end up irresponsible and irrelevant? Or did you already find what you were looking for?
Carl pulled out a bottle of whiskey, took a sip, and
Painful things cannot be avoided in life.
the blank pages constantly being written and erased. A young girl with long light blue hair was leaning against a long table in the middle of the palace, quietly watching a boy reading a book across from her. After a long time had passed, the boy turned the last page of the book. At this moment, the girl spoke to the young man.
This is the consequence of the past being restored. The people you once knew will no longer have any connection with you, and you will no longer belong to any era. Do you regret it, Starkey?
Upon hearing the girl's question, the boy carefully began running his fingers over each page of the book once more. Finally, he looked up to the girl and said,
No, I'm confident in my choice. Sothath. This was the best possible outcome.
He slowly closed the book, concluding his journey to the beginning, of which an end wouldn't exist. You chose to take your destiny into your own hands and sacrificed your connection to reality in order to empower Tal to awaken as Yoji's Othoth, but also to restore the timeline of the world you once walked upon. But this is only just the beginning. The distorted timeline still exists, and the terrible beings that have been sleeping for ages long past are waking up one after another. Terrible disasters are brewing in every space and time. And you confidently chose to meet your choice head-on. For YOG Sothoth to regain their power and stop the world's echoing with pain. A traveler who does not belong to any era has embarked on a journey that will never end.
Go and tell Sothath about the situation of the Sunless Sea. Sothath, the spreading of the chaotic timeline in the Sunless Sea has been controlled. But is it really okay for you?
It's okay. As long as it doesn't overly consume the power of space-time, I can still maintain the critical point for now, but to completely erase all anomalies, I'm not capable of that yet.
Is there anything I can help you?
You see Sothoth with some hesitation after your words.
The new space is still very fragile, and in order for the library to work, Starkey, I need you to travel to all the abnormal space and time. To influence the history, to resolve anomalies, and then bring that little bit of change back here. That would become the power to fill the space and time.
I understand.
However, Starkey, you are going to the chaotic time of history. You need to establish a connection with the people in that space and time to get involved. You will obtain the same identity and experience as them, and their suffering and pain will be imprinted in your heart. My power will protect you from actual death, but you will still face the pain of death.
Don't worry. Sothath, I will go to all these places as soon as I could. Help you recover your power.
A scene that doesn't fit in with this place appeared on the right side of the library. A huge iron box with twinkling and changing light. And a strange scene that is constantly changing on the glass plate connected to the iron frame. A Forgomon occupies this area unceremoniously, with a strange handle with bot-ons in both hands, and a strange mess of objects lying around.
Sotha, what's wrong with them?
You rarely see Sothoth with a look of resignation, as they put their hand between their eyebrows.
After I really woke up, our alienated self fell asleep. A Forgoman never wanted to merge with me. After weighing the pros and cons, I let them stay here. We have reached an agreement. They no longer interfere with space and time, and I can't interfere with their freedom either.
But isn't that really going to cause more trouble?
As the end of time, a Forgoman is the key to erasing the chaotic timeline. They have seen so much destruction that they have been tainted with a bad character. We were originally one in the beginning. Because of the difference in our power, our views become different, but they will surely preserve the new world that we have created.
Okay.
You feel a sliver of strength being drained from your body, and images from the past start to emerge in your mind. This sense of familiarity makes you feel as though you have returned to your travels through time and space, while the screen of the machine in front of you flickers to life.
What on earth is this machine?
As you approach, the screen displays a black vortex, made up of countless grains of black sand. As you get closer, these grains of black sand seem to come to life, shaping themselves into various people. These are people you have seen before.
How unexpected. I never thought you would be able to activate this machine.
A Forgomon's gaze shifts to Sothoth, who is sitting in front of a desk. Sothoth merely lifts his head slightly, offering a smile, diving back into his sea of books.
What is Tall thinking? Ampere hours. Your foolish expression tells me you don't understand its purpose yet.
I indeed do not understand its purpose. You have released all the imprisoned consciousnesses. Why then is this temporal sand still preserved?
I am under no obligation to answer your question. You might want to think about it yourself. If Paul has managed why would they bother to restart time and space?
Isn't it to deal with the arrival of the end? You unable to reach a consensus to change the outcome of the future. So Sothoth could only deal with the end of the future by restarting time and space.
Your thought is so naive it makes me laugh. Perhaps you've been too deeply influenced by mortal thinking. Let's put it this way. Even at Tall reaches, Tall has the power to project new timelines. They just doesn't approve of this method. Individuals created through duplication only retain all the information of the previous individual. Individuals without continuity, their true selves have already been destroyed. I don't need any damn true self. I just need enough data to help me regain my strength. Since you've activated this part of the temporal sand, I will gift it to you.
Afterward, a Forgomon casts a displeased glance towards Sothoth, saying,
Tall, you should understand.
not bother me.
Art expressing emotions is softest delight.
You find a page on the bookshelf. Many unknown books are stored on the right shelf.
I can use the books to determine the space-time I'm going to go next. I don't have any associate yet. It's better to create an connector, associate character before time trip.
Oh, this is what you came up with.
Yes, this plan is good for both of us. You have been building up your strength and fight with me, and if we continue to fight, we will only cause unnecessary losses to each other.
Interesting. So you mean, I erase residual consciousness of the main body, and you will transfer the power to me, and I will rule this library.
Not only that, I will not compete with you for the power of our body. Even every time you fail, I will pay you space-time points, so as long as you participate, you will surely gain something.
Interesting. What are the conditions?
I hope Star Key and you work together in the recovery process. The ability of the Star Key will play a key role in helping.
What a trouble. Anyway, idol is idol. I accept.
Sothat, did something go wrong with this trip? I can't successfully go to the target time and space now.
Yes, because this space-time is a bit special. It is affected by my residual consciousness, and the disaster of space-time. Your associates cannot intervene in this history before the disaster. Now, if we want to restore that time and space, we must borrow a Forgoman's power.
But their power often only causes more serious disasters.
No, now they are obsessed with taking revenge on me. They don't care about other things. At the same time, I will always pay attention to them here.
Is there anything else to watch out for?
This journey is quite special. Therefore, to assist you, I will grant you more power. I will project your other associates into this time and space together. Even after resetting the timeline, they will still retain important memories. Nevertheless, this journey is bound to have its challenges. I have made an agreement with the Forgoman that they will assist you at critical moments.
Understand. I'm off to discuss with the Forgoman how to work together effectively.
Well, I can see that you are a little bit reluctant. It's the look of doubt and distrust. Don't worry. I've made sufficient preparations for your mission. But after all, it's the first time we are working together. So you need to cooperate. I complete a test.
How do I cooperate?
Just when you questioned, the snake in front of them opened its huge mouth, and a small part of your body's strength was taken away.
Don't get excited. Although I hate you, I won't violate the bet. Sothat is too conservative. They didn't let go of most of your strength in order to prevent your consciousness from being affected. If you want to complete the task at this time, you need a little innovation to change.
Then, you saw him pull out a blazing light from the giant snake's mouth and throw it into your body.
Their ability to break through all obstacles allows you to go anywhere. It is really an enviable ability, but your consciousness is too weak now. In order to prevent you from being damaged during the test, I will make a backup for you. Don't worry. It's just a little bit modification. You will experience the specific changes lately.
This time you will travel to the space-time of 1877. In front of you is information about the location.
Cleveland. Cleveland suffered a rare fire 6 years ago. Only 6 buildings survived. St. Myrtle Church.
There is a person who can. He will be.
Wealthy merchant Sherman asked the butler to find you. He wants you to go to St.
Star key. My power. But you can choose to start the journey at my power. When you enter that space, you must merge with the identity of your associate to avoid.
Okay.
Sherman suddenly wanted to meet as soon as possible. I won't know what's going on until I find the client and hear it from him.
Hundreds of
The day we have long been waiting for has arrived. It's finally time to celebrate. The end of our suffering and the arrival of glory are finally here.
The massive stone columns that hold the weathered stone roof of the church seem ancient even from a glance. There are signs of smoke gathering above the pillars.
It's finally Sunday, and after the church affairs, we can finally enjoy the Holy Communion. I'm looking forward to this evening.
During your conversation, you notice a A heavy iron. The plaque reads, "Below. You see in the evil desires in the limbs will surely bear the fruit of death." The newspaper is dated a heavy iron door with
You smell of the Holy Communion. Please, I just need a drop. A drop. All I ask for is a drop, my Savior.
This worshipper begs you for the small red bottle you hold. His crazy face is disturbing his best. You decide to. In a frantic hurry, as if he only had moments left to live, he bites open the potion bottle with his teeth. After drinking it, his eyes regain clarity.
Thank you, dear Savior. I don't believe I could have lasted much longer without this. Damned wise man. That bastard deceived me. Why do the other members receive the Holy Communion every week while I'm left out? How dare he say that my soul can no longer be saved? I may have once accidentally injured a little girl after getting drunk. But that's beyond the point. I know the experiments that he did their cemetery. He's by no means any better than I am. Who is he to accuse me of anything?
He continues swearing at why. His eyes begin to turn psychedelic.
This delicate scheme.
The maniac takes a bite from his own arm as if he were biting a loaf of bread. You uncomfortably watch as blood begins gushing from his arm. You notice that he's smiling as his eyes drift away from the realm of the living. He bleeds to death under your gaze. The iron-plated inscription.
Esteemed Bishop Wiseman, you were able to heal my daughter previously. I earnestly request your assistance in doing so once again. For this service, I am willing to donate my wealth to the church.
There is no need for such actions. As it goes against the wishes of the Lord, he does not wish for his lambs to suffer, for he has neither flesh nor blood. I will give my utmost.
After a thorough examination, Wiseman takes out a small vial of medicine and he then takes out a handheld cross and began to pray.
Oh lost lamb, your father has found you. Wake up now.
Dad, after you left, I saw a lot of monsters. I was so scared. Please don't leave me at home again. You won't gonna leave again, will you?
I won't leave anymore. I will always be with you.
You notice a sorrowful expression on the bishop's face as he walks away. But he quickly corrects himself and regains his composure.
There you are.
As he looks at you,
As you must have noticed by now, she frequently passes out. These damn religious folk, despite the substantial amount of...
as he vents his anger, he looks around momentarily. Upon noticing that your conversation isn't been in...
Although Wiseman has always been able after he leaves, her illness would often reoccur. I don't trust these bastards to treat. I can't believe this is some... I feel that they are trying to achieve something. Ironically, for this, you are really my...
So, you suspect that your daughter's illness is related to the church. You wanted me to investigate. Sure, I'll accept your commission.
Very good. Here is a portion of...
Although it is very uncommon, when I was the table grew close. Everyone seemed to wear a macabre mask.
You realize that there are empty compartments in the floor. You search for a while, but can't find the trigger.
I guess I'll give up for now.
The statue is made of obsidian. At the same time, it is difficult to judge whether it is deliberate or the craftsman cut corners. You frankly have no interest in statue. In your mind, you are not Sacristy. For newcomers. The room was quiet. You gave up the idea. You don't know much. To you, maybe. Sacristy. For newcomers. The candles inside the confessional room, it makes you feel relaxed. The plaques confess your sins to the clergy and sincerely repent. Upon absolution,
Marcus, don't come here.
you see a younger, but upon your approach, his mental state. You gave Walker.
I understand why you blame yourself, though your friend Marcus' death might be related to the church.
He looks shocked as he reads. It takes him a.
Marcus is my best friend. I'm not very talented. Marcus was the one who... Thank you for Marcus' sake.
He hands you a crowbar. Why would a hunter carry a crowbar? You notice a man's. It was a beautifully bound with. He was reading. The neatly placed skulls aren't exactly. You realize that these are from younger people, primarily children. It seems like they died within the past year or two. You take a moment of silence for them. It contains the cemetery management records of the church since its founding. The information recorded changed dramatically after 1871. There was no sign of movement around the. As you gaze at the sound of a young girl's giggling fills your ears. Here sits the coffin.
Why would someone lay flowers on an empty coffin?
Before you sit, you pick up and observe the small purple ball.
What is this? Why is there? I guess I'll take it for now.
You pick up one of the many jars carefully. Upon opening it, a suffocating scent of iron instantly permeates the air, compelling you to close the container.
These bottles are full of blood.
Before you sit, you pick upon.
These bottles. The client needs me. I can't.
The masses. There. A heavy. The plaque. Below. The evil desire. A heavy iron.
Hello there. Could I interest you in any goods?
Sacristi. For newcomers. As you enter the room, a great sense of terror washes over you. Before you stands a terrible beast on four legs. The monster quickly climbs to the roof and leaves before your eyes. The table is full of high humanity foods. Big win. Freshly baked breads and cheeses. An exquisite porcelain tea sits here. Perhaps the clergy share an interest in afternoon tea. Empty wine bottle. You open the cabinet. Within sits some medicine and small boxes of clothing. The table was on the left. As you open the book, you attempt to read through the book. You don't understand.
I can't understand it.
The table. The notes are very extensive. X month X day.
1871
It is too similar. X month X day.
1872
X month X day.
1877
This diary and that monster. I have a bad feeling about this. I need to get Sherman and Irene out of here. Ampere hours. This is my wish candy.
The little girl peeks over at her father next to her. As she notices her father looking off at the
I'm not supposed to tell anyone. If I say anything, Dad will disappear. Well, can you promise to? I can't tell you then. If you say anything, Irene, I want to be honest with you. Wiseman has put you, and I promise you that no matter.
The little girl seems. She decides to trust you.
Uncle Wiseman gave me the wish candy. He told me that if I eat it, my wish to spend more time with my dad will come true. He said the wish has a cost though. I can't tell Dad, or else the wish will fail. Please don't tell him. Although it is very uncomfortable when I at the table, everyone.
He looks at the step.
I just want my. I'm willing to give.
We have to get out of here. Right now.
Did you find anything?
I found this within the sacristy.
You tell Sherman about the diary you discovered.
But Irene's illness.
He still seems. His love for his daughter. You try to explain your.
Mr. Sherman, please, I came across.
The hunters in town have been told. I had thought they were making it. You have no reason to deceive. Let's get out.
You all hurry out of the church hall.
Mr. Sherman, the prayer service has yet to begin. Please stay until the worship has concluded.
An urgent matter has come up at Chamber of Commerce. It requires my personal attention immediately. I'll be back as soon as I am able.
Mr. Sherman, we simply wish for you to witness the ceremony. Your daughter has been chosen by the Lord. We sincerely hope that you can. Our church is willing to compensate you for all losses.
I've already given you my answer, you lying bastard. Can you really afford to pay such an amount? Get the hell out of my way, or my men will burn this church to the ground.
Don't let them leave.
The church guard standing watch is stopping you from leaving. What will you do?
Sherman, I'll take care of these religious freak shows. Get yourself and your daughter out of here.
Thank you for your bravery. I'll find assistance for you and return post haste.
Your faith is built upon lies and filth.
The sounds of fighting have attracted more of the believers from downstairs. There are too many.
Where can I escape to? That's the. Here's.
As you run towards the door.
Where the hell are they? Just wait. If we run out.
A layer of grease had. You set fire to the grease of a mountain of wooden. Inside the wooden box are the expression. You look through the window and you don't think
Jumping from here would be a dead end.
it's an empty box.
They are going to.
Let's tell the bishop. Fire. How could?
He saw the flames.
No, I'm not leaving you this time.
He rushes into the flames, tightly hugging the corpse. And instantly his body burns with searing flame. Even if you want to stop it from happening, it's already too late.
He must have been a victim of the fire 6 years ago.
Code of conduct.
一、
The door only. The wheel is finally. A tool rack. Posted notice. A tool rack for. You remember this man. He was a devout believer you had once seen praying in the church. Now he lies pale and dead. You're very careful to avoid touching the white sport. You remember. These are fresh You take it. You have a handy tool, but it is. The blood is almost depleted. The organs quickly sink into your heartbeat. A massive tentacle of flesh suddenly pulls you into the pool. You're pulled into the pool by a giant tentacle. You decide to.
Finally, there's something to eat again. Ha! What fell down this time? It's a person. He seems to be pain. What can I do? What can I do? That's it. I'm almost out of food. Next time I'm hungry, I won't be able to control myself. No, I should prioritize saving him.
She cuts her palm and drips the
That's it.
An incredible smell catches your nose while you dream. Shortly after, you wake up and see that you are in a room of flesh. There is a young girl kneeling in the center of the room, biting a piece of flesh. There are dandelions growing. They don't seem to. You were dragged here by one of these flesh tentacles.
Yay, that's great. You've woken up. She doesn't seem to be hostile towards me. I should try to talk to her for now. What to say? Thank you. If it weren't for... What do you mean by... Well, death is the end of a life. It is difficult. Death is not only... I don't quite understand. Yes. Are we all going to be dead? Yes. Okay. So, what's a name? As for this place, I don't know where. So a name is like a... Without a name, you're past and you... Ha! So you don't have a name. How about this? We could call you Yummy. Yay! I'm happy. Yummy is my name.
You talk with Yummy for a long time. She's very happy to be able to ask about a lot of words that doesn't know. Each time, you patiently explain the meaning behind a given word.
Before that, take a look around. I'm so happy that I have a name. I am Yummy. I am so hungry. Yay! Delicious food. Come on. Come on. You can have some too.
There are dandelions. They don't...
What are these from? Sorry, I got real tired. Ha, have you met my other friend? This is Baby and this is Tiny. Baby is saying she seems like these must be Yummy's answer to being a Mr. Baby. Mr. Baby. They said that they couldn't remember. They also we are all happy that Yummy. Well, when I'm hungry, when I'm tired, I really wish I could dream. I remember that once in a dream, I could see the moon, then I saw 3 rabbits playing. Soon I joined them in. For some reason though 2 of the rabbits disappeared. The last rabbit seemed to be very uncomfortable. I think I saved it. I went home to show it to Dad. Then I woke up from the dream. Ha! The forest and the moon. What? Dad, what's... Why do I suddenly feel so...
You feel an urge to comfort her. But she quickly forgets her sadness and goes back to eating. You were dragged.
Hey Yummy. Oh those. They're part of me. They're part of you. It's like how I control my hand. Yummy. Could you use them to put me on that pipe up there? What? Are you going to leave me? Yummy. I want to be honest with you. I need to get out of here. There's a lot going on up. Wait. If you could I can't leave here.
You follow where she's pointing and see that the necklace she's wearing is actually thorns growing out from her neck.
Before you arrived, I was already trying to get out. Every time this thing tries to tear me apart from within, I've tried to climb through the pain. I just lose consciousness.
Now that you've found a way out of here, you choose.
Well, we'll find a way to escape together.
Great.
She takes a garland off of her hand.
It took me.
Yummy.
I'm not sure.
You look closely and notice
It seems I don't know anything about.
you have. You shatter the core of the chains. Rather than you watch as
Yummy. Wake up.
the flesh and blood that make up this room begins to react.
What the hell happened to you, Yummy?
There are dandelions. You were
Hey, yummy. This yummy. What?
You've repelled the blood-clad creature that overtook Yumi. She falls back asleep as you see that the chains adorning her neck have returned. The remaining flesh that formed the creature gradually withers away.
Yummy.
You realize there are passages extending in all directions. You look in the at the bottom of the book. The table on the left. The table on the left. Fresh.
Oh, finally. If it wasn't for you, it's been a monster with a. Since then, I was trying to. I've been.
He looks wild. He should have an.
What?
What are they?
Bishop Wiseman. Wait. Bishop, where is. You said you would be bring.
As you know, the plan we will need to.
Wise, we can.
We can start with the new if necessary.
If we. Wiseman, I can't.
Noel, your soul was a mess when I first saw it. I can't bear to continue this charade. In order to save yourself, you.
That's impossible. My sister's body.
The cop you haven't even.
My sis. She died. You are.
Neither have they. Only place you. It's time.
Wiseman pulls a dagger out of his cuff and plunges it into Noel's chest.
Bishop Wiseman. Thank you very much. Thank you for piercing the heart of that delicate little flower to wake me up. Did you know? Not one. But, while this, I am already dead. But, you don't really think
That's impossible.
those gifted with incredible what you are able to you spared no effort. I'm rather curious about it's a pity. It will be the Interesting. It seems that you still have some secrets up.
So that's it. I actually used to be a. When I saw myself, I asked God. God never. After that experience, I then looked in the. It was at that moment. Twisted thing. While I've accepted, I still refuse. Thank you for if the film.
What is this? You actually transformed yourself into a Mythos creature. Ha ha ha. You truly never cease to surprise me, Wiseman. I haven't been able to cut flesh, and I hope that you.
A battle breaks out in the church as white spores rain down from the sky.
So that's it. I'm gonna look around. You can't stay here.
Sure.
The white spores are attracted.
This is impossible. Your blood should be running dry. You're very magical. How do you? What do we? It's. Help me kill this monster.
The red-haired woman has asked for your help. What do you do? The twisted creature reverts to a human form. Any individual you are rather familiar with.
I didn't expect you to be so helpful. What do you intend to do now? This is my church. Wiseman has degraded what I built. You'd be rather helpful as a pawn moving forward. Unfortunately, I've...
You see an old X month X day 1863. X month X day. X month X. 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 X month X day. X month X. X month X day. You've learned about Wiseman's past. You look at the dust crumble.
The church is...
She's completely out of breath. She's completely... There's a cell in the center and... The ground shook and a large amount of blood rushed into the floor of the ceremonial hall. Nearby rocks beginning to collapse. And a swarm of fleshy tentacles are growing madly in the walls and floor. In an instant, the vines scattered in all directions, as if bursting free from a long-bound cage. And the flesh and blood vines spread to the entire town. Flesh and blood spread everywhere. As no one can escape this disaster, the thorns of the vine like tentacles pierce their victims. As their various bloods connect and react, they go from struggling in fear to calm in moments. As the chaos dies down, they each fall into a deep sleep, smiles taking hold of their expression. In the center of the madness, a girl cries out helplessly.
I don't want to hurt anyone. Why can't I control myself? What should I do? Please someone save me.
As if in response to the girl's words, a faint light flickers. In its place, a blue butterfly appears. It makes its way through the maze of flesh, quickly dodging the incoming threats. As it slowly approaches the girl,
Who are you?
the girl, confused, raises her head and looks at the strange butterfly. She feels a familiar presence, one that belonged to someone who not long ago made her feel alive. A feeling of intimate hope fills her. The light of the butterfly fades as the figure of a man gradually takes its place. His figure seems extremely heavy, as if he was resisting an invisible force. He walks towards the girl slowly, and with every step he took, his figure became more illusory. The surrounding space seemed to be repelling him, as even just a few steps seemed to drain his very existence. He finally stands before the girl, eyes ready as if he had measured the perfect distance. He suddenly pulls out his cane. A thin crack opens in the space where the cane points, and the flesh-made cage was scattered from the girl's body. She looks up at the man in front of her in surprise. Just when she was about to say something, the chain around her neck began to change, and an even greater force began to erupt from her body. Immediately, a silver key appeared in the man's hand, and time stopped turning. The key twists its form and the chain holding the girl shattered. The key begins to fade as the power before it is sealed.
You no longer have to bear a fate that doesn't belong to you. I hope you have a beautiful dream. When you wake up again, you will see a whole new world before you.
The girl falls into a deep sleep as time starts to move again. The shadow of a door appears near the man, as an ethereal female voice plays from the doorway.
Star T. You have reached your limit.
The man looks at the sleeping girl in his arms and shows a gentle smile.
It's time for me to leave. Everything from this point will be left to you.
The man looks at the sleeping girl in his arms and shows a gentle smile. Your brain is rushing to forget redundant information. Your body itself seems to have fallen into the deep sea, as a sense of suffocation hits you. When you finally feel your breath again, you realize that you're outside the church. You attempt to stand with great difficulty.
It seems like I received a strange commission in my dream. It's a pity that I haven't asked yet what the reward is.
Just as you are about to resume, you look out.
It feels like I had a long dream. Why am I sleeping here?
I think I had a sweet dream.
I feel like I forgot some.
Dad, I had a dream of flower fields. Could we plant flowers in?
Yes, we can.
The church collapsed. How could I sleep here?
You watch his brows furrow.
Let's just say there was a disaster before.
Has God also learned to do good deeds?
Calmed by your joke, he shrugs his shoulders.
I need to prioritize. I'm going on patrol.
Little did I know that. Now I'm no longer. I don't know why. If only he were still.
Under that type of structure,
What a pity.
you need to figure your.
It seems I still haven't paid. You are reliable. The The bonus serves as my recognition of you. I've come to figure out many things. I want to do something for this town.
Your bracelet's beautiful.
You look at your arm and realize that the vine garland turned into a bracelet dotted with a red gem. You aren't sure. You say goodbye to everyone and decide to be on your way. On the way home, a plethora of memories begin flooding into your mind as you start to remember what happened to you within the church. You remember the monster with the scarlet tongue, the man-woman with the rigid size, the mysterious monument beneath the ground, and the room made of flesh. A pinch of regret and anxiety washes over you. You want to rush back to the church to find the girl you met, but you're afraid it's too late. Just as you feel overtaken by tears, a warm glow comes from your wrist. You look at the vine-textured bracelet sitting there, studded with a sparkling red gem. You now remember the task you received within your dream and you finally feel at ease. Part of your body has been assimilated by the reality, and the other part has been unable to coalesce due to the excessive use of power. So Thoth is desperately gathering their power into your body to prevent your body from dissipating.
I'm sorry, Sothoth. I make you consume your power again.
Star T, can you tell me why you did that? I may not be able to connect with human beings and feel strong emotions like you, but I know what you have done is not limited to emotional actions.
Well, there are two main reasons. One of them is the future I, one soul. I saw that flesh and blood spread, space-time in the future. I came to this period of history and saw the situation of Yummy. I realized it was the reason.
I understand. Then what's the second reason?
For the promise. Although I'm not them, they are me. So I can't turn a blind eye to their promises. When I made my choice, I felt that I was closely connected with. Maybe this is my weakness.
Star T, you are the embodiment of my will. All you have done is to trample on my will. Your emotion is not a defect. It's just something that makes you different from us.
Thank you, Sothoth.
So Thoth used his power to restore your shattered body to perfection.